When you're involved in a pedestrian accident, what you do in those moments after the accident can be critical. Hi folks, my name is Stephen Murphy and I'm a partner here at Block O'Toole & Murphy. Today I'm going to talk to you about pedestrian accidents, and more specifically, pedestrians who are struck by vehicles while they're walking in a crosswalk. When you're involved in a pedestrian accident, walking in a crosswalk, the stakes are high. Because of the size of a car, the weight of the car, and the speed of a vehicle that strikes you, the consequences can be rather severe. When you're walking, the point of impact generally lends to injuries to your legs, to your hips, to your back, and those all can result in serious long-term consequences. So when you're involved in a pedestrian accident, what you do in those moments after the accident can be critical. The most important thing is this: if you get hit by a car while you're walking in a crosswalk, you've got to do a real evaluation of how you're doing physically. If you're hurt, you need to call 911 or get someone to call 911 right away. Get an ambulance there so that they can take care of you. Now, if you're able to physically, in addition to calling the police and getting an ambulance there, you want to make sure that your recitation of what happened is recorded in a police report. Again, that's only if you are physically able to do so. Other things that you might want to consider: taking photographs of the area, seeing if there are any witnesses. If there are witnesses, can you get their contact information? Make sure you have a name, a phone number. That will be helpful to you down the road. You can scan the area and see if there are any surveillance cameras around that you're able to see. And remember where they are, and maybe share them later with an attorney. Now, speaking of an attorney, what can an attorney do to help you in your pedestrian accident case? All right, you hire the right lawyer, a lawyer with experience, a lawyer with a track record of success in handling these cases. That lawyer is going to help you obtain the police report, carefully review the police report, and illuminate the important factors that are going to help you prevail in your case. That lawyer will also do a canvass of the area and see if they can find witnesses who can share information about the circumstances of the accident and perhaps help establish that the driver of the vehicle that struck you is at fault. They'll also photograph the area so that they can convey exactly what happened, whether that's to an insurance company, a defense attorney, a judge, or even a jury. Having a clear picture of the scene where you were hurt is going to be critical in any case that you may bring down the road. So you're pursuing a pedestrian accident case. You've been hit by a car or a truck while you're walking in the crosswalk. What are the different ways you can recover in a lawsuit? Well, a good lawyer, an experienced lawyer, will tell you that one of the avenues that you can recover in a lawsuit includes pain and suffering. And that includes pain and suffering from the day of your accident up until the day your case is resolved. But it also should include the rest of your life. So if you're a 28-year-old and your case is resolved by the time you're 30, that's not necessarily when your body decides it's no longer in pain. What if there's pain that's going to persist for decades or for the rest of your life? As a client, you deserve to have your pain and suffering recognized as part of your lawsuit, and you deserve to be compensated. And a good lawyer will make sure that you're compensated for a lifetime of pain and suffering if the circumstances warrant it. What other areas are there available to someone who's been involved in a pedestrian accident? Your medical expenses. You shouldn't have to go out of pocket to pay for necessary medical expenses if those are injuries that were caused by a driver of a car or truck who struck you. So your lawsuit should contemplate recovering medical expenses, the expenses that have already been incurred, but also any expenses that may occur into the future. A good lawyer will have a presentation that contemplates both what expenses you have incurred and what expenses that you will be likely to incur moving forward. Another area that's available to recover in a lawsuit involving a pedestrian knockdown are your lost wages. You're working, you're hit in this accident, you can't return to work for a couple of years. You shouldn't have to just suffer in silence. A good lawyer will enable you to recover your lost wages. What if you're disabled and can never return to the workforce? Well, a good lawyer will hire the necessary experts to be able to present to a judge, a jury, and an insurance company what your overall long-term lost wages include. And that might include your loss of income, your loss of pension, your loss of benefits. All of it needs to be packaged and presented in a very coherent but powerful and persuasive way so that they understand that they are up against the best of the best. Now, I know we've been talking about pedestrians who've been struck while they're in a crosswalk, but what if you're not? What if you're outside of the crosswalk? Does that mean you have no case? Well, in New York, they have something called comparative fault. So if you're outside of the crosswalk, there may be an instance where you're partially at fault, but the driver of the vehicle should have seen you if they were paying attention. If they were focused, then they would have noticed that you were trying to cross the street and they should have taken evasive action. So a good lawyer is going to weigh all of the facts and circumstances and present the most compelling case. Merely because you're outside of the crosswalk, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't seek good legal advice. If you're a victim in a pedestrian accident case, it's a good idea to consult with a lawyer. And I can assure you, if you look at the track record of Block, O'Toole, and Murphy, there's no better option when it comes to fighting for pedestrian accident victims like Block, O'Toole, and Murphy. So give us a call at 212-736-5300 and we can discuss your case. Take a look at our website, www.block.com.